Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest. Joe Palacio is with us, Network Partners Insurance Solutions. Welcome.
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Holy cow, looking at our celebrations of the day, we've got some that are probably better than others. I'm going to look here. National Nevada Day. Yeah, no excitement on that one. We will say thank you to all of our veterans, but today we celebrate National Vietnam War Veterans Day. Thanking all of our veterans out there. If it wasn't for our veterans and our active members of the military, boy, we couldn't do what we do every morning. We wouldn't have the freedoms that we have. Say thank you to a veteran every day. Today, though, we celebrate the Vietnam War veterans. National Mom and Pop Business Owners Day. You know, being in the small business arena, I would say we can celebrate that one as well. And having beaten anorexia, you know I'm always going toward the food. Yes, it is National Lemon Chiffon Cake Day. Okay, post it. Tell me, where are we getting a great piece of lemon chiffon cake? I am game. Anybody that wants to bring one here to the studio, we'll be here till about 10:30. So just be aware of that one. Looking at the markets this morning, Dow Jones Industrial Average up another 250 points right now. Where will we end the day? Yeah, that's the question. And where are we heading over the longer term if you're not a day trader? Now, if you're a day trader, this momentum, this volatility, very, very good for you. If you're a long-term investor, the markets generally do well long-term. If you have a little bit of nervousness, if you're maybe a senior citizen, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about seniors today. Any of those issues, well, maybe you don't want to be in the stock market because then you might not qualify for some of the medical treatments that you need because you may end up with high blood pressure, you may end up with a little anxiety, you may end up with a lot more drugs, and none of those things are good, especially for our seniors. You don't have a lot of time to make up for lost time. But I'm looking back 6 months ago, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was at 22,557. Today it's at 24,092 as I speak to you. And holy cow, all the way in between, we've seen a lot of variances in there. Do you really want to have that much volatility in your life as you get into those golden years? How about calling our friend Todd Halterman, 6% return? I'm not licensed, so he'll tell you what the real numbers are. But they get something like a 6% return paid on a monthly basis on one of the investments that he has, and somehow, even though it is a fixed rate product, they got a 20% overall return last year. So you want to figure that out, how to do it, call Todd. He's got all that information. Oil prices up 44 cents a barrel. We'll talk next segment about what's happening with the U.S. 10-year Treasury. It's not doing as well as that 6% that I just told you about that you can talk to Todd Halterman about. Just a thought there for you as well. We're not going to get into the bonds. We'll do that next segment as well. So if you want to know what's happening in mortgage rates, if you want to know what's going on in the world of the 10-year Treasury, Don't go away. We'll be talking about that one. But what else is happening in the news? We can chat about the news right now. Boy, is there ever news going on. The Department of Justice opening an investigation into FISA warrants, or FISA abuse, I guess is really the issue. Michael Horowitz, he finished his investigation talking about some of the FBI issues, the Russia collusion. A lot of people asking, okay, so he finished his investigation. Michael Horowitz, he is the Department of Justice Inspector General. So he's finished his investigation into the Russia, quote-unquote, collusion case.
You know better than that.
Yeah, we know better than that. And some of the other issues. Why haven't we, the public, we the people, heard what's going on? Well, one of the beauties of the way the Inspector General works, no one wants to tell you this, you got to listen to Ron Siegel Radio to get this information. The Inspector General does his report. He interviews individuals, he does the whole report. Then the individuals that were interviewed, and I have those of you watching me on RonSiegelRadio.tv, notice we got that interviewing in quotes. Well, then they send out the excerpts from each of the individuals that testified, and those individuals have an opportunity to correct the record. They had about a week to do that. Then those notes come back in, they're assimilated in, or they're reinvestigated, and then we the people get to see the entire report, other than anything that might be classified. So we should be seeing that in the next couple of weeks. But now the Department of Justice files charges against the FBI agent for allegedly leaking secrets to a reporter. Was that Comey? Was that McCabe? Who is it? Well, that'll all come out. The Department of Justice alleges that Terry Albury, a Minneapolis-based agent, shared a document on FBI informants with an unnamed reporter for a national media organization. Crazy. We'll see how that continues to go on. Trump administration mulling a proposal that would penalize immigrants who accept public benefits, including tax credits, and could be used to deny them legal residency. We'll see where that one goes. The Cannabis News Network, they're going to host a town hall with James Comey. Does that surprise anybody? Now, the question becomes on the Cannabis News Network, is anybody going to watch? I mean, their ratings have gone even below MSNBC Hee-Haw. So it's kind of fascinating where we're seeing those going. There isn't one of these news sources, Fox, MSNBC Hee-Haw, Cannabis News Network, not one of them are really giving us great information. It's fascinating where we have to go for this stuff. President Trump fires the Veterans Affairs Secretary David Shulkin, nominates White House Dr. Ronnie Jackson to replace him in the wake of bruising ethics scandal and mounting rebellion within the Veterans Administration. Crazy how we can't figure out how to fix the Veterans Administration. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Wasn't it the last administration?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Yeah, they wanted to nationalize all of medicine, and they can't figure out how to deal with one population, our veterans, who have earned the best medical care we should be able to provide anybody. Just a thought there, but that's the way our government works. Unbelievable. Actor Jim Carrey tweeted a drawing Wednesday he made depicting the two Trump sons getting gored to death by an elephant. Carrey tweeted his cartoon on March 27th with the caption, #Team Elephant. Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump were depicted as bleeding with an elephant tusk protruding from each of their stomachs. Is that supposed to be funny? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't see the humor there. Sacramento area home is up for sale, but it comes with a catch. I want to know how they get away with this, because you know that I lead a lending team. How do they get away with this? The homeowner has a political preference in mind for the next owner of the house, which has been in her family for decades. The homeowner remains anonymous because she's afraid of retaliation, but the seller told her realtor that I don't want her, the realtor, to sell it to a Trump supporter. Now, how do you limit these things? How do you redline like that? I didn't think you're allowed to say that, I'm gonna discriminate. Interesting. Well, I did see this one in the news. I will end the news part of our broadcast with this little bit of humor. Netflix, they've added an Obama administration official, Susan Rice, to its board of directors. Now, Netflix. I don't watch Netflix. I hear that there's a lot of fiction on Netflix. Well, now we get fiction on the board of directors of Netflix as well. Interesting there, but, we'll see what happens with having Susan Rice on there. We know that she can't tell the truth, but now she's going on there with all this made-up stuff, so at least now it's legitimate. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got a lot to cover today. We're going to be talking about Medicare. Can you get Medicare? What do you need to know about Medicare? And hey, you know something? I understand that a lot of people have the exact same Medicare provider. And it's fascinating to me because I hear this one, they must be the number one provider of Medicare in the entire world. They give out more advice on Medicare than anybody I have ever heard of. And it's amazing because the person's name is, here, you ready for this one? I gotta get my guys out here. We're gonna get the number one provider of Medicare, same name all throughout the country, Neighbor. It's amazing how many people get that advice right from a neighbor. Now, I don't know about you, but I know when you're dealing in most insurances, you deal with life insurance, you deal with health insurance, you deal with home and auto insurance, you deal with healthcare insurance, you deal with real estate, legal, professional, CPA. All these folks have continuing education. Yet, I don't know how many of your neighbors are going in for their continuing education. You might even ask them that. When you go and get your advice from your neighbor on your Medicare, ask them how their continuing education was this year and if they got it done. Because just because you know last year's laws probably doesn't mean you know this year's laws. And I'm going to submit to you, just because your neighbor may have one set of illnesses or healthcare related issues, maybe those are not the same ones that pertain to you. So do you think that it's a one-size-fits-all program? I submit to you it probably is not. So maybe you want to listen in to Joe Palacio. He does go to get the education on these things. Let's chat with him about that. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing real estate, current events, financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, it is 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete dreams or simply where you think you can afford. If the answer to professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. And as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products for you. Give me a call, 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with the right people there. Freddie Mac came out with their mortgage market survey this morning like they do every Thursday morning. Interest rates are down ever so slightly. 4.44%, down from 4.45% last week. Do you think 1/100th of a basis of a point is going to really matter? I need to get guys. I need on my soundboard to get a yawning. Just something that's a big yawner. That would be probably what we need for that particular piece of guidance there. But what's happening in the markets? We are watching those as we do every morning. The mortgage market gets all these, and it's one of the things I share with you on a regular basis. People that are within an industry, you probably take your industry, whatever you're doing, and it doesn't matter whether you're helping build roads. I'm watching an ambulance come by outside the studio. Everybody has their expertise, and I don't know that anybody can really do some of these things without focus on them long-term, long time, long days getting the updates. So we do the same thing when we look at the mortgage market, right? We're looking at the 10-year Treasury, the yield, that's the percentage of the 10-year Treasury, down 2 basis points. We're at 2.75 right now. But what I'm also looking at is the Fannie Mae 30-year bond, and the bond is up 11 basis points. That means the interest rates are down a little bit, and we watch that on a regular basis for you. Now, the other part of it is now, why is it down? That, anybody can look at the numbers. They probably come across your phone, right? Now, if you have an iPhone, it's a standard issue is what's going on in the markets. Now, one of the things we do certainly know is that the bond markets are going to close early today, so there's some volatility there. Anytime you're looking at the last day, the last trading day of a month, even more than that, the last trading day of a quarter, you're going to see extreme volatility because all of the mutual funds, they want to make sure that their numbers look as good as they possibly can. So they do their trades at the end of the quarter, the end of the month, to make sure that they make them look good and look pretty for the marketing people. So personal consumption expenditures is the Fed's favorite measure of inflation released this morning. That report showed that headline inflation rose 0.4% in February and increased from 1.7 to 1.8 on a year-over-year basis. Core rate takes out the food and energy prices, is the main focus of the Fed, rose 0.2% and increased from 1.5 to 1.6 on a year-over-year basis. Slightly hotter than expected, but the bonds seem to be taking it in stride. We're going to watch out for next month as there could be a big jump in PCE inflation. And here's why. The way this figure is calculated is on a rolling 12-month basis. In the March reading, which will be released on April 30th, The March 2017 figure will be replaced, and the March 2017 figures were really weak at a negative 0.2% for a headline and minus 0.1% for the core. That means if we see inflation rise 0.2% on the headline and core next month, as we did today, the headline figure would rise to roughly 2.2%. I know it gets into the wins, but that's why we look out for it for you. Initial jobless claims. We're not going to get into that. Let's get into our, that's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by Gold Star Mortgage. Let's talk about what we came here to talk about today, and that is Medicare. Joe Palacio, welcome.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks for coming back and joining us again. I guess we couldn't have treated Joe too badly last time because he came back for a little more punishment today.
I made it back.
So let's talk about Medicare. Let's talk about what do we need to know? What are some of the big issues about Medicare? I know not me personally because I probably don't qualify. I'm a little young for that. But Some people don't say I'm young, but when can I start qualifying for Medicare?
Well, Medicare, it's so we're out of open enrollment.
We're what?
Out of open enrollment.
Okay.
They've actually extended it to the end of this month, March, because of the fires in Orange County. But a lot of people ask me what I do after open enrollment.
Okay.
And so I help
golf
with that too. You need to decompress after the open enrollment period. But what I do is I have customers that come to me that are turning 65, and so it's called initial enrollment period, where they have to sign up for Part B, usually 3 months before their birth date month. And so one of the big questions is,
okay, now you've gone way too fast for me.
Sure.
So the first step is I'm gonna 3 months before my 65th birthday.
Correct.
Is when I have to call you for the first time.
Call me. And the question I get is, how do I sign up for Medicare?
Okay.
Medicare Part A is your inpatient benefit, meaning anything that's in hospital, hospital stay, skilled nursing facility, hospice. We get that, we pay into that through our payroll taxes. So
okay.
We get that automatically.
So that's one of those things that they call as an entitlement, but we really pay for.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So once we start working,
just throwing that out there,
right? So you'll automatically be given Part A, which is a hospital benefit, and Part B is the outpatient. So your doctor, your lab work, your specialist. That is where the person will come to me and say, how do I sign up for it? And there's certain ways, a couple ways to do that. Some people are computer savvy, some seniors don't mind going online, and I send them a link, which makes it easy, and they click that link and it pops up to the actual start of the application.
Okay.
Instead of going through the Social Security Administration website and finding where to sign up for Part B, I actually get them to
which is a pain in the neck if you've ever tried to go to any government website.
Yeah.
Navigating them, you have to. I think even Thomas Guide couldn't figure them out.
Yeah, it's a challenge at times. But so and then if the person says I'm not comfortable with computers, I don't know what a link is, then I will either fax them or mail them a hard copy, or meet with them and give them a hard copy of the application to sign up for Part B. So that's the initial way to get Part B going. Now, if for some reason the beneficiary or my customer has already been drawing the Social Security income, which they can do at 62, they will automatically get the Medicare Part A and Part B mailed to them in the mail.
Okay.
So they'll automatically be signed up for Part B. Medicare will recognize that.
So everybody at 65 has Part A and Part B?
Well, not everybody, but in a perfect world, yes, unless they're continuing to work. A lot of seniors are continuing to work and they're getting employer benefits, insurance, group health.
Okay.
And so they can delay Part B. And that's a great point you brought up, Ron, because if you are working and you're continuing on the group health plan, you do not want to start Part B, because Part B, there is a premium per month, and the standard premium is $134. And so
why spend $134 on top of something you're already buying?
Correct. So it's good to call a broker and to see and do a cost analysis. Maybe you want to be off the group health. Maybe it makes sense to go on a Medicare plan versus the group health. So it's really good to start early. You don't want to wait the month before you turn 65 to figure out the cost analysis, whether to sign up for Part B. And once they sign up for Part B, it takes about 10 to 15 business days for that Part B to start. So there's a lot of moving parts, but that's why you call a trusted broker. And we will figure that out.
Now, a lot of people, and I want to get this out there, and I think we're going to throw this out several times through our conversation today, is calling the broker. I mean, as we get into our retirement years, we become even more conservative financially, fiscally,
Yes.
right? What is the cost to call the trusted broker?
That's a great question. Life and health insurance brokers we cannot charge. We're not lawyers. We don't charge you per 6 minutes for a phone call. So so
it's not going to cost me anything different than going on the internet myself?
Nothing. I can spend 45 minutes to an hour to half an hour to 15 minutes with my customer or prospect, and whether they work with me or not, we do not send them a mail. We don't send them an invoice, which is nice.
So when you're listening to the conversation this morning with Joe and I, don't get caught up in the idea of dollars and cents, because the dollars and cents we're talking about you're not paying for. I love it when you're not paying for somebody's service. Now, you're not related to Warren Buffett or Bill Gates. No. Okay, so you're not in that inheritance chain. You got to still feed the family.
Yes.
And so somebody else has to pay you, just not me.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a fair question, right? I mean, because everyone wants to know, if I'm not paying you, you're not just doing this because you like me. You might like me.
I like you, Ron.
You might like me, but that's not, you have to take care of your family as well.
Sure.
Just like everybody else does. So he gets paid from these companies. We don't have to pay him directly. And so if I remember from our last conversation, it doesn't cost me any different to engage an expert like you as opposed to going on talking to Mr. Google, who I may or may not know is correct.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So there's the difference. Okay, so let's continue our conversation with the consultation is the starting block.
Yes.
And I said in the opening block, in fact, we're going to talk more about this, that the number one educator on Medicare, Part A, Part B, Part C, all these different parts, is your neighbor. And we're going to try and dispel that myth today and trying to give you some, maybe a little bit better guidance. We're going to talk more with Joe Palacio about that concept as well, because maybe even you and your spouse need something different. We'll talk and we'll ask Joe that question also, because you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, boy, we have a lot to chat about. Some ideas on what to invest in after retirement. Think about... Wait a second. Maybe it's during retirement. It says after retirement on my notes, but I don't think you're going to be investing after retirement. Well, we'll get into that part as well. 99% of experts agree home prices are going. We'll talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text Toolkit to 79564. Find that get that home affordability worksheet, the mortgage calculators, and access to real-time interest rates. It's free. Text Toolkit to 79564. 99% of experts agree. Have you ever heard of 99% of experts agreeing on anything? They're saying home prices will increase. Some believe that the combined effects of the new tax code and rising mortgage rates will have an adverse impact on residential real estate prices in 2018. However, the clear majority of recently surveyed housing experts believe that home values will continue to rise this year. What is the Home Price Expectation Survey? Well, each quarter we talk about this. Pulseonomics surveys a nationwide panel of economists, real estate experts, and investment and market strategists. Those surveyed include experts such as Daniel Bachman, Senior Manager, U.S. Economics at Deloitte Services LP. Kathy B., Head of U.S. Macro Investors Service at Oxford Economics. David Downs, Real Estate Finance Professor at VCU. Edward Pinto, Resident Fellow at American Enterprise Institute. Albert Saez, Director at MIT Center for Real Estate. So where do these experts see home values headed in 2018? Well, here's a breakdown of where they see the home values 12 months from now. 21.6% believe prices will appreciate by 6% or more. 71.6% believe prices will appreciate between 3 and 5.99%. 5.7% believe prices will appreciate by 0 to 2.99%, and only 1.1% believe prices will drop. Almost 99% of the top experts studying residential real estate believe that prices will appreciate this year, and over 93% believe home values will appreciate by at least 3%. Now remember, if you're putting 10% down, and you don't necessarily need to put that much down, but 10% down, that means you take that 3% appreciation and over 93% say, and multiply it by 10. So that's 30% return on your cash. Just a thought for you there. If you want more explanation of that, give me a call, 800-306-1990. Get the toolkit, the ultimate home finance toolkit for free. Text Toolkit to 79564. That is the real-time real estate segment. So we are chatting today. Joe Palacio is with us. We're chatting about Medicare benefits. So Joe, we were talking before the last break about that great Medicare consultant called Neighbor. And how they may or may not even know, they may not even have great information for themselves. Yet, many people, if you don't know about something, then you hate it. Right? Most people, if you don't know, you go up to somebody and say, what do you think about a straddle option strategy? Oh, I would never do that. What do you know about it? Nothing. Oh, so why wouldn't you do it? What do you know about covered calls? Oh, calls are horrible. You can't do covered. Do you know what's the safest investment in the world? No. So why do you hate it? Right now you go and you talk about Medicare, and you say, well, I've got Part A, Part B, and Part D. Why? Well, because John down the street has that, and he's been really, really sick, and it worked out well for him. So, Joe, can I get that for myself?
Is that a question?
You could, right? We could get it,
sure,
but it may not be the right solution.
No. And people have different conditions.
Right.
So they can have type 1, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, or they can be very healthy and taking 1 or 2 medications.
Even within the same household, right? Husband and wife?
Yes. A great example, the Chatterjee family, I just signed up. One is on one plan, on one carrier, and then one is on another plan, just because of the way the medications worked out. Because that's very important, is the medication list. And so I as a broker, have a patient needs assessment form that I go through with my customers.
A patient needs assessment form.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I wonder if my neighbor has that. Go on.
I know, it's okay. And we talk about, what we'll discuss is the primary care doctor and any specialists, and then their medication list. And what we want to do is, in the healthcare field, we call it continuity of care. We want to make sure that continuity of care is intact. We want to make sure that we gather as much information so we funnel down to a plan that best fits them.
And my guess is, because my mom's quite ill right now, and I would guess that when she goes and talks to any of the professionals, her first question is generally, is Dr. X on the list? Is Dr. Y? How do I maintain my relationship with this grouping of doctors? Right?
Correct.
Is that one of your first questions people want to know from you?
Well, it depends on their condition.
Sure.
So if they're healthy, it's just their primary care physician they want to stay with, or they don't want to stay with.
Right.
And so that's where we'll figure out. Medical groups is important. Hospitals.
Sure.
What hospitals they want to go to, what hospitals they don't want to go to. And other ancillary benefits, such as hearing, dental, vision. And so we really fine-tune a plan that best fits their needs. So, and again, what may work down the road for one person that's on a, say, scan, it may not be the right plan for the person that's asking that question to their neighbor.
And see, most of us probably don't even know what scan is. I was thinking of, when I did my test for my Series 7 license in the 90s, we scanned the answers.
Yes.
Probably not the same scan.
No, it's scanned the medical plan. Yeah.
Right? So so these are all differences, right? I mean, that's a big issue, now it seems to me, we were talking earlier in the broadcast, I brought up the idea that the VA is having some challenges right now with leadership, and that's kind of a government-controlled healthcare. Is Medicare, is that the same thing? I mean, can I go to my own doctors? Do I have to go to a specific institution?
Great question. So it depends on the plan. If Medicare Advantage is one option that a Medicare customer, one of my Medicare customers can qualify for, and that's considered Part C and HMO. So those three are the same terminology when you're looking at terminology.
So Advantage, Part C, and HMO are all the same?
Yeah, Medicare Advantage plan, HMO, Part C. Those all mean the same thing.
Okay.
That's one pathway one of our customers can go. It's in network, so if you see a doctor, you have to see that primary care doctor. They have to choose a doctor. It has to be assigned.
Okay.
And then they stay within that network. Say, for instance, St. Joseph's.
Okay, so Dr. Jones is my doctor. He's at Hoag, or he's affiliated with Hoag.
Either way.
And I stay in that same whole pathway of care.
Yes. So if you get a referral, you have to wait a day or two to get a referral to see, say, an orthopedic surgeon.
Okay.
Wait a day or two, yes.
I'm assuming it's a non-critical need.
Yes.
Okay.
It's going for
so if it's a critical need, you don't have to wait a day or two.
No. That's a great one, because I get that question a lot. What if it's an emergency? Do I have to wait for a referral to go to an emergency room? No. If you're having a heart attack or a stroke, something catastrophic.
Don't call Joe. Don't call your doctor. Just dial 911 real quick.
Correct. Thank you, Ron, for clarifying that. And so that's in the HMO world. And the HMO world, the nice thing about the HMO world in Southern California is the network of physicians. At Hoag's a great medical group, and so is St. Joe's and St. Jude, and they're all connected now, Mission and St. Mary's. So HMO world has become much better, and the network of doctors within this area are nice. The other option, Ron, is a Medicare supplement. Now, the Medicare supplement with the standalone drug plan, because the drug plan is included in that HMO. The other pathway 2, is they have the Medicare, they get a supplement. Now the supplement does have a premium, but it gives you the most freedom.
Okay.
So you can go see a doctor. You don't have to wait for referrals. You can go directly to a specialist, whether it be Orange County, LA County, San Bernardino County, also, and then you have to purchase a standalone drug plan, and that is option 2 for the Medicare customers of ours.
And the key word that you put in there very subtly was you have options.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's not like okay, I'm going to go online, I'm going to sign up for my Medicare, I'm going to hit box X, box Y, and that's all I can do. Right, I can call somebody who studies this.
Yes.
Right, I mean, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I'm assuming that you help more than 20 or 30 families.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So you're getting the opportunity of looking at various scenarios, right, to try and match up my unique scenario, because there's nobody else that has the same medical conditions I do.
Correct.
And that with the plans that are available, where there's all these different plans, but your assessment is going to help you to give me the guidance that's going to probably be better than Google.
I absolutely right. Yes, Ron, that is very important. And the nice thing about if we do it the right way, we're not having to fix it down the road. I mean, I don't want to do my
There you go. Fix it. And sometimes, and we'll ask Joe this when we come back. What happens if we can't fix it? Or is it unfixable down the road? We're going to talk to Joe about that part when we get back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We're going to also chat a little bit about investments while you're in retirement. We'll talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay's available, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send find you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today being brought to you by our friends over at CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has these solutions for you. Reasons to invest after you retire. Time has come. You're ready to retire. For many, this means living off savings or Social Security. But in reality, now that you're unemployed, it's time you started making real money. Investing after retirement is a great way to continue making income, cover expenses in lieu of a regular paycheck, and stay plugged in to the booming American economy. They say Social Security is drying up. They've been saying that as long as I can possibly remember. Ain't going anywhere, don't worry, but you can't live on it. Mm-hmm. What's the number one amount that people earn? The most common number I hear of, or the largest number I hear, is maybe $2,000 a month. I don't know about you in Southern California. $2,000 doesn't go quite as far as it used to, and as many years as it needs to. Life expectancy is increasing. You might find it stimulating to do some sort of investing. Don't get into day trading, please. It's just a ruse to take your money. There are professionals out there that understand it. Be careful. I will share with you, the longer you can delay Social Security payments, the better it is for you. Because think about this. Your payment goes up, the last I heard was roughly 8% a year from age 62 to age 70. Goes up about 8%. What does it take to do that in the market? Think about that. And then from age 72, you've got statistically about a 13 to 20 year life expectancy from there, depending upon when you get there as well. So think about that. Your benefits increase. No one knows how long those benefits are going to last because it's based on you. Moving, want to start the next chapter of your life? Maybe you want to go to one of the lower income tax states. You might want to be looking in for that. You earned it. You earned the retirement. Let's start watching the way and having a good time in retirement. Again, I'm going to share with you, there's no better time to invest than now, but do it the right way. Get in touch with a professional that can guide you. You may not like any of the ones I recommend to you, but at least you're going to get educated, right? That's the whole issue. I know a lot of great people in the industry, and every one of them has a little bit different spin on things. But one of the biggest things I would guess you don't want to do you really want to spend a lot of money in giving in taxes? Probably not. Be careful. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. Minimize the taxes, and let's see if we can save you money on health care and get you the right coverage that you need. So we're going to continue our conversation this morning. Joe Palacio is in the house, and we are chatting a little bit about Medicare. Network Partners Insurance Solutions is the name of the company.
It's actually services.
Network
Partners,
you know something?
Insurance Services.
And it says it right here on my notes, too. So obviously, somebody put something in my coffee this morning beyond just the... well, I'm not going to go there. Network Partner Insurance Services. It's in my notes correctly. It's just you got to be careful with some of these hosts sometimes. Interesting stuff. But we're talking with Joe anyway. So here's we left off last second. And Joe, we've gotten a lot of great information today about consultations, the idea that there's no cost, needs assessments, the HMO equivalents, the PPO equivalents, and we're not going to go over all that stuff anymore. We did that already. So if you want to listen to that, it's on the tape. I guess I'm dating myself. It's on the recording, and you can go and get that. But let's move forward.
Sure.
So I set up my Medicare age 65, and I listened to my neighbor and probably got it wrong. Can I fix it?
You mean after applying for a plan?
After it's been applied for, or maybe I've had it for a year or so.
Yeah, so great question. So say you sign up this month, and 2 or 3 months later you find out that this is not the correct plan for my needs. Come open enrollment, you can, between October 15th and December 7th of this year, say for example, you can call a broker and they can work out a plan that is the best fit for you.
October 15th
through December 7th is called Open Enrollment Period.
Okay.
OEP is the acronym. But I like saying it out loud because people, if I say OEP, they don't know what that is. But
sure.
Open Enrollment Period, and they might
even look it up on Google and find a different acronym for it.
You're correct. So you want to make sure we say it out. And then, so between that period, you can the Medicare beneficiary can make a change and submit the application, and then effective for January 1st of the next year. Now, there is a special election period that they may be able to change throughout the year, usually one time in a lifetime, and that's if they have chronic conditions such as type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes or cardiovascular disease. There's 1 or 2 carriers, insurance companies, that have what they call special needs plans. And so say you're out of that open enrollment period and you do want to make a change, call a broker and they will find a plan that may be a good fit for you to make that change throughout the year. And so they're called special election period, and there's certain medications that we kind of ask them if they're on to kind of qualify for those plans.
Is it going to break the bank if I do one of these special election or special needs plans?
No, what they created these to give a little bit more attention and care to make sure these people, the beneficiaries, are taking their medication. They give them phone calls to remind them. So there's 2 or 3 carriers that develop these plans for that particular population.
Should we have just a little bit of fun for about 20 seconds, Joe?
Yeah.
So OEP you mentioned.
Open enrollment period, correct.
Or it could be oil of evening primrose. It's a dietary supplement. It could be operand execution pipeline, overhead expense period. So I'm glad that you gave us the full acronym.
Yes. Yeah.
Emission evoked potential. I guess that's if you have too many Taco Bell burritos, you have just having a little bit of fun there, right? Omission evoked potential. Maybe that's emission. Whatever, right? Okay, so let's continue our conversation on a serious note.
Sure.
So we can correct ourselves.
Yes.
Is it going to cost me more if I change from company to company throughout my life on the plans?
No, if it's an HMO plan, there's usually no premium for the HMO plan. The beneficiary is paying indirectly for that plan through the Part B premium that they pay the government.
Okay.
The government will pay the carriers to provide the insurance for the beneficiary, in addition to what Congress allots for that pot to take care of the seniors. So they're not going to pay any more. Usually, if I'm fixing somebody's situation, I'm usually improving their situation. So keeping money in their purse and wallet. Or if they're right where they're supposed to be and I can't improve the situation, I just tell them you're right in the right plan. Even though you're reaching that donut hole and you're paying all this expense for medication out of pocket, you're in the right plan. Or you can save $600 to $1,200 for the entire year if you go from your current plan to this plan that we found for you.
Wait. You throw that in here with about 2 minutes to go on the broadcast, Joe. So I can actually save $600 to $1,200 maybe if I'm in the wrong plan by having a free consultation with you.
You don't know what you don't know, and yes, and so the pain that people, so when I get those phone calls and they say, my friend or my doctor, because I do work with doctors' offices that refer patients, beneficiaries to me, they'll say, they said you can help me with the cost, and I may or may not be able to, but I have cases where I've saved people $1,100 throughout the entire year, and as seniors, they want to keep as much money in their pocket as possible.
And if you want to get to become a senior, you might even want to do that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's some staggering numbers. And the idea here, again, is make sure that you're getting the free counsel.
Yep.
Right? I mean, and this is one of those cases where it's not worth what you pay for it.
Right.
It's worth more.
Yep.
Right? I mean, and that's a key thing because so many people are concerned, and with rightly so. And I know that you and your organization share one of my big missions, and that is protecting seniors because there's a lot of scammers out there.
Yes.
Right? So we want to, Joe becomes a resource for you and his team become a resource for you because I know you're helping people out there with their Social Security benefits and conversations there too.
Yep.
Right, we haven't even chatted about that. We're not going to get into that today, but
it's a whole different story.
The issue here is just getting good guidance.
Yep.
Right, and I'm sure it drives you nuts like it does me, where people don't get the guidance, they end up with the wrong program, and then they have a need, and they're in trouble.
Yep.
Right, I mean those are, and next time you're on, I'll probably have you come and prepared for story time with Joe because I bet that there's a whole lot of situations where you've been able to have a conversation with somebody and they got into the wrong program with no fault of anybody. They probably did with all good intentions, but they got into the wrong program and it hurts them overall, hurts them long term. And that's the thing that you and I want to try and, that's our mission today, is if we can help one family, just one family not go down this wrong path, we've met our goal.
Yes.
Right? Give Joe a call or give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll make sure that he puts his information right there on the Ron Siegel Radio Facebook page as well. So get some great information and set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account, thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today, and of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and you can have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Over the limit, I'd like to call him something. I think I'll just call it a day. Pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurry.